guys, charmedwench here, and I'm back again for an extra time this week. This video is again another completely different video for me, so I just had to jump on and film this because I was tagged to do this video by the lovely Lightning Lass, and I will link that in the description below, her channel, so you can go and check it out. So I thought I would jump on and throw this. This is why I kind of look a bit of a mess. We won't talk about my roots and things like that because it's getting ever closer to the baby coming. But I just thought I've been shopping. I thought I'd just jump on now and quickly film this for you guys so that you can see it. Anyway, without me rambling on even more, I will tag a few people at the end. And shall we get straight into the questions, because there's like 30 and it might take me a while because there's a few things you guys need to know. So it says, what food would you eat every day? Now my initial answer to this question would be crisps, because I would literally survive on crisps if you could. I would totally live on crisps because that is I'm an absolute savoury junkie. I love savoury food, so I would gravitate towards anything savoury over anything sweet most of the time. But if I had to choose something that's an actual food and not a snack, I'd probably choose bacon, maybe. Yeah, I'd probably totally have bacon, but it'd have to be like a BLT because I love those, and I can't eat too many, which you guys will see as we go further on in the video. But yeah, if I had to choose one thing, I think it would be bacon. I don't know, yeah, we'll go with bacon because otherwise we'll be here all day. My favourite restaurant, I don't actually have a favourite restaurant that I think I would go to. We do like to go out for like pub meals and things if we do go out, because we've got a pub that's not far from us called the Stag's Leap, and they usually do really nice food in there, but it's just like pub grub type food, and I really like going there. So I guess that could be my favourite, but I don't generally have a favourite place that I want to go every time. So yeah, that's the answer to that one. The next question is, what city has the best food you've ever had? Now, I've lived in a lot of places, so it's really hard because obviously I've lived, you guys won't know, but I've lived in Germany, I've lived in Hong Kong, lived in London, generally places around England I've lived. Basically come from an army sort of background, so that's why I've lived in a lot of places. But if I was to say anything at the minute, the first thing that comes to mind is me and my partner went to Ireland a little while back on a little trip, a weekend away, and we went into this pub, and it's like the most iconic pub in Ireland, and I cannot remember its name. And we had the Irish stew, and I love soups and stews and things like that, like really homely, like chunky soups and things like that. I absolutely love. And we had an Irish stew in there, and that was so freaking good. That was so good. I love stuff like that. Anything homely and warm and cooked and soupy, I love. And the next question is, what do you get on your sub? Now, a lot of you guys won't know, a few of you do know, but I actually do have a gastric band. I'm not going to go into too much detail on it right now because you guys, by all means, ask me any questions you want in the comments below. I've got no issues with answering any questions. But we'll be here all day if I continue about my gastric band. But I do have a gastric band, so it does restrict me to certain things that I can and can't eat. And one of those things is it was one of my favourite foods, which is bread. Bread used to be a big thing in my diet. I used to love bread. I'm the kind of person that would sit and eat a piece of bread with just butter, like loads of butter all over it, like crusty bread, and just eat it because I love bread in general. But if I had to choose something to get on a sub before my gastric band, I always choose that cheese and herb bread because that's the best. And generally it would be like sort of the chickeny type stuff with all the salad and things. Yeah, so generally bread I don't tend to eat very often because it can give me a bit of grief and it does make me a little bit uncomfortable. I know a lot about gastric bands because I've had mine for about 5 years now. Well, I know my gastric band, and bread is something it just doesn't like, and it tends to, I don't know, I don't want to go into too much details in case you guys don't want me to tell you what it makes me feel like, but it makes me feel generally not very good if I eat a lot of bread. So bread is something I absolutely love. I don't miss it. I don't, you know, I don't want people to feel sorry for me. I don't miss eating bread. I do still have bread. Like I said, I'll eat a BLT, but it will take me a lot longer, and sometimes I don't finish it. So yeah, that is a really, really rambly answer to what you have on your sub. But yeah, I don't really eat Subway anymore because of that. So the next question is there a food you've always wanted to try? The only thing I think of when that comes to mind, because I absolutely love eating curry, and I've only loved eating curry since I've been with my partner that I'm getting married to. He introduced me to curry and Indians and things like that, and since then that would be my all-time favourite takeaway. I love Indian food. I think what I would love to try is like go to a proper Indian household and have them cook it the way they would cook it, just to see what the difference is. That would be really awesome. I'd love to try something like that, just like a traditional proper Indian, and see what that's like. But yeah, so that's what I'd probably say. If there was a food that I want to try, I'd definitely go for that. The next question is your worst restaurant experience. The only thing that comes to mind that I can think of at the moment, somebody will probably comment below that knows me and tell me what about this time, but I think I went into a cafe once and we ordered these baguettes, and they were really, it was like, I like tuna and mayo and things like that, so we had a tuna mayo salad baguette, and I bit into the baguette. In fact, I was a little way into that baguette before I discovered this, and I bit into it and I sort of pulled back, and there was this massive, like, I mean massive long black hair in the baguette. I don't think I finished that baguette. I think I put it to one side, but yeah, that was a bit gross. That was the only thing I can think of that was like a really bad experience that I had in a restaurant. I suppose it's a cafe, but it's still food, so it's food related. So yeah, that's the answer to that question. The next question is, who's the better cook, mom or dad? Sorry Dad, you don't really cook unless it's a barbecue. My dad doesn't mean barbecue, but my mom is the best cook. Her roast dinners, oh, I love her roast dinners. She just you know, she makes proper gravy, you know, like the gravy where you have the OXO cubes and the corn flour and things like that, and you do proper gravy with all the juices and the vegetable water, and there's just something about combining all that. It's like, oh, it's so good. It's such good gravy. But yeah, my mum is definitely the better cook because she does a nice mean roast dinner, and I like going for roast dinners. The next question is food you fail at making. I don't think there's a particular food that I fail at making. I'm not the best cook, to be honest. My partner, my husband to be, he does, you know, the cooking in the house all the time. I literally don't have to. You know, it's very rare that I cook anymore. So I kind of forgot how to do it, to be honest. But I don't know. We've had a few cake fails. We've tried to make cakes before and they've gone on. I think was it my daughter? I tried to make her a cake. I can't remember what it was. Oh no, yeah, I tried to make her because now in the autumn when pumpkin season happens, it's kind of become a little bit of a thing that we make a pumpkin pie, or I do, shall I say. And she loved the first pumpkin pie that I ever tried making. She absolutely loved it. So she asked for me to make her a pumpkin pie for her birthday, which was, her birthday's in November, so you know the pumpkins are still just about around then. And I'd found this recipe for pumpkin cake. The cake was amazing. The cake turned out so well, but the icing, I don't know what, oh, I do remember what happened. Basically what it was is it was supposed to be like a lemon sort of icing, but it was supposed to be quite thick and creamy and buttery. And I misread I misread the recipe, and I thought you had to squeeze a whole lemon into the mixture for the icing, and it wasn't. You only had to put a teaspoon in. So I like literally squeezed this whole thing and mixed it all up. I was like, why is it not thickening up? What is going wrong? In the end, I just sort of drizzled it all over the cake. But to be fair, it was quite nice. I think she enjoyed it too, so I'm sure she'll comment below about my pumpkin cake fail. But yeah, that was funny. I totally messed up an icing. it was hilarious, but it tasted nice. And that's the main thing. Sometimes things that look gross always taste the best. The next question is, name your least favourite food. My least favourite food, I think if I had to name something, it would be olives, because they're just disgusting. Olives and Marmite. Who even came up with the concept of Marmite? No. Some things in this world should be banned, like pineapple on pizza, Marmite and olives. I've tried olives one time and I've never tried them again. I think they're disgusting. I just don't like them. Pineapple on pizza is just an all-time no for me. Don't put something sweet on something savoury. That just messes with my brain. But yeah, olives would be my least favourite food if I had to choose something. So the next question is, raw or cooked veggies? So this is a hard one for me because I'm kind of like a mixture of both. I love my cooked veggies on my roast dinners, but I like them to be really, really soft because my mum's always cooks them quite well and they're quite soft. But my partner, he likes them a bit more crunchier. So I've kind of got used to both. But he also introduced me to the fact that you can eat cauliflower raw, and I had no idea that you could eat cauliflower raw. But I love it. If you haven't tried cauliflower raw, you kind of really need to try it. You totally do. It tastes so good. I don't know what it is about it, but yeah. So I'd probably say I more so gravitate towards the cooked veggies, but I totally do like eating raw, like raw peppers, raw cauliflower. I hate to say it, but I don't mind eating celery. Don't like it cooked. Raw I will eat it, cooked I will not touch it. What else? Raw carrots and things like that. I do like those, but I do prefer my roast dinner soft vegetables that my mum does, or I get my partner to cook them a little bit more. He knows how I like them, so he does like them crispier, but I like more, not crispier, like a bit more bite to them. But I like them a little bit softer. So he kind of goes in between. So I get the best of both, I suppose. But yeah, that's the answer to that one. The next one is steak rare, medium or cremated. Now I've always grown up, like whenever my mum and dad have had like steak on dinners, they've always done it in the frying pan, and they've always done it to the point of like almost cremation, I guess, like really, really well done, like chewy. And I've always loved it like that. Always, like whenever I've had a steak, not that it's very often, because steak is, if I go out somewhere, steak isn't usually something I gravitate towards on the menu anyway, but they've always cooked steak well done. And then I met Steve, my partner, and he loves his steak rare, or rare to medium, more so rare. He likes his steak rare. And he convinced me to try it one time when we were out for a meal, and I was just like, no, it's mooing on my plate. I don't like meat that is moving around on my plate, and it may as well just moo at me because it's so raw. But he convinced me to taste it, and I was so surprised that there is so much more flavour in a steak when it's cooked that way, in comparison to when you'd really well done. So honestly guys, if you've never tried steak rare or medium rare, you should totally give it a try, because it kind of, the only way I can describe it is it like kind of melts in your mouth, and it is really, really nice. So if I was to have a steak, which is very rare, I just usually have a bit of his when we go out, it would be, yeah, I'd probably say rare to medium, because I don't like the whole blood thing. But now I've tried it and not thought too much into it, the flavour is completely different in comparison. So yeah, I'd probably say rare to medium. The next question is, do you enjoy cooking or baking? Obviously, because I don't really cook that much anymore, I do a little bit of baking. I'm definitely not good at it. But I like baking with my youngest daughter. She loves getting her hands in a bowl and mixing things and things like that. So she actually really likes to make those, you know, those cheap little the boxes of the ready-made ones where you make like frozen cupcakes and I don't know, I can't think of anything else off the top of my head, but like princess cakes where you stick the little bits of paper, the edible paper stuff on. She loves making those. So so if I had to choose, I'd probably say baking. It's not something I do very, very often, trust me, but yeah, out of the two, I'd probably say baking. If it was my partner, he'd totally say cooking. I don't know why he's not a chef, because, you know, he's really good at cooking. but anyway, that's the answer to that question. What's your favourite fast food? I don't really have a favourite, because again, because I have a gastric band, I'm kind of restricted to what I eat if I do go to those sort of places. If I do go to like McDonald's or something, I don't eat burgers and things like that because I don't have the bread, but I can sometimes eat the wraps and things. If I had to choose somewhere, I'd probably say McDonald's, I guess. I do like a bite of a cheeseburger though. It's the gherkins. I love gherkins. And so does my little girl, and so does my partner, so we always we have a little bit of a, if there's a gherkin about, one of us is going to fight for it. But yeah, if I had to choose, it would probably be McDonald's, because it's the only place I can think of off the top of my head. The next question is, food place you wish was closer. Well, in a lot of the towns, because I live in quite a small town, and a lot of the towns just outside, about half an hour away or so I could get there if I wanted to, so they are quite close. They have a lot of little dessert shops. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of them, or Heaven's Desserts, and they do like the most amazing like milkshakes and like just general, the whole shop is just desserts. I think we went to, what was it called, Oatcakes and Milkshakes. I don't know whether there's any of those, it might be just a small franchise, but we went to this Oatcakes and Milkshakes shop to have a milkshake, and they do these immense, like I had a Ferrero Rocher milkshake and it was so good. I love Ferrero Rocher. But if I had to choose something like that, something like a random dessert shop would be really cool to have close by, because they're just fun. The next question is, what food do you gravitate towards on a buffet? I can answer this easily. Crisps. Honestly, crisps will be my first port of call. Yeah, anybody that knows me knows that I love crisps. My partner's exactly the same, so we're like so bad for each other in that sense, especially if I like to try and find crisps we've never tried before. It's like my goal in life is to find these crisps we've never tried. Like I really want to try hot Cheetos from America. I really do want to try them, and I have said that in a previous video way back, because we do have Cheetos over here, but they're like those flaming hot ones, and they're just like a bit pants really. But the hot Cheetos kind of look like, if you're from England you know what I'm talking about, knickknacks. They look like knickknacks, and that I just really would love to try them. But yeah, if I had to say that, yeah, like I said, I love crisps and random flavors. Lidl's do some awesome flavored crisps, like random ones. Like but we've got to try them because we're like crisp connoisseurs, and we need to know what all these crisps taste like. So we've had a few fun flavours from there. So yeah, if you want some random flavours, go to Lidl's. I'm sure it's Lidl's, or is it Aldi? I think it's Lidl's. Anyway, yes, I'm going off subject again completely with crisps and buffets and things. But yeah, it's definitely crisps, 100%, hands down. The next question is, favourite food at Christmas. My favourite food at Christmas is the roast dinner, to be honest, out of everything, because I don't know, I mean, having all the chocolate and things like that is cool, but I do love the roast dinner with the pigs in blankets and the sprout. I used to hate sprouts, but it's like you get old and you start to like sprouts. What's that all about? What is that all about? My other half absolutely loves sprouts. The kids not so much, but when you get old you just like sprouts. I don't understand it myself. But yeah, it's it's got to be the roast dinner at Christmas. The next question is, first food that comes to mind now. I would have to say avocado. Well, if you know, since I've been pregnant, I do like avocado, or I have had a lot of avocado. To the point where my daughter has now brought me for my hospital bag a nightie that has avocados on it and some avocado socks, so they're in my hospital bag ready to go. As soon as baby is ready, we'll be wearing an avocado nightie. Can't wait for that. So yeah, that's the first thing that comes to mind. Weird food habits. I don't think I have any weird food habits. Not really. I mean, my other half the other day we were eating sharing a Scotch egg, and I ate the egg. I don't eat the whole thing together. I eat the egg and then eat the outside. I don't know, I've always just that's just the way I eat a Scotch egg. But he thought that was pretty weird, so that's the only thing that comes to mind right now that I do that's weird with food. But yeah, that's the only thing I think of that's weird. I don't really have any weird food habits. What holiday is your favourite for food? Again, we don't have many holidays in the UK like that have specific things attached to them with food, so it'd have to be Christmas because that's the only thing I can think of. I don't really know of anything else. So yeah, that's the answer to that question. What food would you never try? See, I'm quite good with food. I will give anything a try at least once. I don't think there's anything that I haven't. Well, obviously I've never ate horse that I'm aware of. I've lived in a lot of places, but I don't think I've ever ate horse. But I guess I'd never eat horse unless I didn't know about it. But yeah, I think I don't know, I'm quite open to food, but if it's something really weird like dog or horse or rabbit, I know I've had rabbit, but I think I was probably tricked into that by the parents. You know who you are. You know who you are. But yeah, I don't like the idea of eating rabbit. That just doesn't. I know they've made me eat it in stew. I know you have, and you probably told me it's chicken or something when I was younger. But yeah, I like the idea of eating a bunny. Just does not appeal to me. It just doesn't. I don't know why. I guess Thumper comes to mind, and then it's all, no, I can't. But yeah, I suppose I'd never try rabbit, but I think I have because my parents are evil. The next question is, do you know your bestie's favourite food? Okay, if we're talking about my daughter being a bestie, she loves pizza. She does love her pizza. I actually missed a question because I was talking about besties and pizza. One of my questions was, what do you get on a pizza? And I don't think I answered that earlier, so I'm going to answer that now. That's my boiler, so we'll ignore that. What do I get on a pizza? Now, as I said in a previous question, I have a gastric band. Pizza is not something I can really, well, I can eat it but not a lot of it. And I always have to have the thin base pizzas because they're better for me if I do want to try pizza. And my partner loves the thin base anyway, so it's all good. Now, it depends on what mood I'm in. I actually like seafood pizza. My partner hates seafood pizza, so we don't get it very often, but I have to be in the mood for it. I have to just know that I want it. And I've even, I hate to admit it, but I've even tried the anchovies on it. As long as you don't look at them, it's okay, they're quite nice. And I do like a veggie pizza, but generally if we're going to have pizza, it's like a meat feasty, meatballs, that kind of pizza is what we get generally if we did get a pizza. But I did go to Aldi today and buy, because I do like goat's cheese, and it was like a goat's cheese and spinach and things like that, so I brought a pizza with that on it today, and it's a thin one. But like I said, I don't eat a lot of it because it just doesn't make me feel good because of my gastric band. So that was a question I missed at the beginning. I think I missed, I may have to put it as well, but yeah, that's a question I think I missed, so I've just jumped back and sort of answered that now. Do you know your bestie's favourite food? If it's my daughter, generally I could be wrong. She's going to tell me, she's going to be watching, but I'd say pizza. I know she likes her pizza. But we did have a takeaway the other day and she went with the fried chicken meal, so Maybe she's changing her habits, I don't know, but I remember the days when it was all about the pizza. And if it's my other half, it's gonna be curry, Indian takeaway, all day every day. He loves a curry, the spicier the better. Actually, it's getting a bit mild in his old age. Don't tell him I said that. But yeah, he used to have, I don't know whether anybody, if you know your curries, you will have heard of this. It was called when I met him, his go-to curry was a fal, which is like the hottest. It's hotter than vindaloo. It's like the hottest you can get in a curry, obviously legally, because you can't have those, what are those scary peppers, those scary chilies that you can't have. And one of the local curry houses that we used always knew that he liked it hotter than hot, like hotter than a regular fal, so they would put extra chilies and extra chili powder in it. Honestly guys, I tasted it, and yes, okay, it blows your head off, but there was no flavour to it. I don't think there was any flavour to it. It tasted pasty, like, because obviously they have to, because they can't use these particular chilies that I can't think of. If he was up here, he'd be able to tell me. Because they can't use those chilies, they have to use a lot of chili powder and chili peppers. So I just thought it tasted pasty. He loved it, but he doesn't really have that anymore. I think his old tummy can take it, but he still does have a vindaloo. So yeah, if it was him, it would be curry. If it was her, it would be pizza. The next question, best thing mom makes. Hands down, roast dinner. Love my mum's Sunday dinners every time. They're so good. And it's always better when someone else cooks it. Not that I cook anymore. But yeah, I'd say my mum's roast dinner. The next question, favourite style of egg. I can answer this straight away. I love poached eggs. I don't like fried eggs that much because I'm not a fried food person really. I don't really like fried food. Not very often. Unless it's obviously bacon. But yeah, I do love a poached. Oh, my partner makes the best poached eggs, I swear. Like, I don't know how he does it. Like, when I've made poached eggs in the past, in the long way past, because I don't tend to do them, they go all weird and like stringy and gross. When he makes them, they just turn out perfect every time, and I just love that runny yolk thing. Some people hate that, but I love that. So yeah, I'd have to say poached. The next question, favourite restaurant that's closed down. I can't think of any that have closed down local to me that are favourites. So I don't know, there isn't any that I can think of that have closed down. The next question is, how do you like your toast? Generally I like it quite, but I'm partial to it. I had a bit of burnt toast this morning actually, weirdly, that I'm answering these questions now. A bit of burnt toast with peanut butter on it was dead nice. And before you tell me, I know I'm not supposed to eat peanuts when I'm pregnant, but it hasn't done me any harm. It hasn't done the baby any harm. So somebody's going to shout at me now in this video, but hey ho, we can't all be winners. But yeah, I do like my toast. I don't like it like soft. There's no point in having toast if it's not going to be crunchy and, you know, good. So I don't, like I said, I don't eat bread very often, but I like it quite well done. The next question, do you like spicy food? Yeah, I do like spicy food. Obviously not as spicy as my partner does, but I'm quite happy to have a little bit of spice. You know, I'll give anything a try as well. Obviously, as you know, I've tried his really hot curries, but I don't mind. I like spicy food. And the next question is, do you like seafood? I don't mind seafood. The only thing I will not eat is squid and what, them little, have you seen those little octopuses that are in salads and things? No, it's just wrong. And it's like chewing on an elastic band. Have you ever tried? If you've never tried a squid ring, that's the only way I can relate to it, because obviously, like I said, I'm quite open to food, and I've had a squid ring, and you just sort of like, you pull it and all the batter comes off and you just end up with a piece of squid in your hand. It's just not that great. It's not that great. But I do like prawns and I like tuna. I mean, I tend to not eat, I don't eat loads of fish or anything like that. It's very, I mean, we have been having a little bit more fish lately, but it's not something that I'm not like I'll go out and have salmon kind of person. But I don't mind seafood. I think we went away recently. I say recently, we went away a little while ago, before I was pregnant, and I like prawns with vinegar on them, like proper ones from the seaside, and I had some of those. That was like the last time I had seafood, I think. And the last question, I hope I've got all these questions in. I don't even know, because I tend to ramble and talk way too much, but I guess you either like it or you don't. If you don't, I'm sorry, I'm just a talkative person. And the last question is the first food that comes to mind that's green, and I'm just thinking avocado again. Avocado, watermelon. Okay, will be different. Watermelon, the green watermelon, obviously. But yeah, I think that's all the questions answered. Hopefully I haven't missed any. What I will do, because this video has been so long, I will tag a few people, but I will just put it in their channels in the description box below, because this video has probably been really long and rambly now, and I don't want to keep you guys any longer. So yeah, I will tag a few people, but they'll be in the description box, so go and check that out, see if your name's there. You don't have to do it, but if you want to do it, then go ahead. And if I haven't tagged you and you want to do it, then do it anyway. But yeah, thanks for tagging me, Lightning Lass. This will be an interesting one for everybody to watch. But yeah, that is my crazy food tag video. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions about anything, especially obviously because I've kind of sort of touched on the whole gastric band thing, if you have any questions, you know, I'm more than happy to answer. It's not a problem. Just let me know in the comments below. But that is it for this time, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, give me a big thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, and you'll see my regular videos, as well as maybe a few random ones thrown in, depending if I'm tagged in things. But yeah, I will see you in the next one. Bye.